Hey, what's up? Thanks for being here. Come here, I got something to show you. This is rj'scave. Today we're going to be talking about this Crate 212, GFX212, excuse me, 120 watt combo amp. Alright, before we get into it though, do me a favor. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, by all means, hit the subscribe and notification bell. Alright, this way you get messages whenever we drop a new video, and hopefully YouTube gets the idea and puts our videos out in front of more people. Alright, so why am I showing you this beast? Well, this is a 212 combo amp, 120 watts, and it's the first amp that I really took seriously. Excuse me, when I started up again on the electric guitar. Alright, because I put it down for about 10 years, right? And so when I did that, I got rid of everything. It was a long story, and it was a stupid move. Don't do it, okay? Anyway, so when I decided to start again and take it seriously, I needed something on a budget. So I started looking in the used section, and over at Guitar Center, they had this thing for $100. Okay. Now, there's one thing I knew back in the 90s was that these were solid metal amps. Solid. Not Superstar, solid. Okay? And they were relatively inexpensive compared to the other guys. And so if you needed something that was going to be reliable and have decent tones, this fit you would usually fit the bill. Alright? So, well, this brand, okay? So anyway, so I picked this up, okay? $100. And it came with the foot switch, which only recently, after 5 years, went on me. And this is old to begin with, so that's actually pretty impressive. So, and this amp is actually very flexible. Okay, as far as it has a lot of built-in effects. Okay. So, I'm going to take it from here. I'm going to run you down the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to try not to bore you, and I'm going to try to do it quick. If you got anything to say, you want to tell me, please let me know in the comments, guys, alright? I'd love to hear anything you got to tell me. So, this is the input jack, right? There's a hole right here. Anyway, in this section here, from here to here, is the overdrive section, okay? Now, here's the channel select. And then over here is the clean channel, okay? There's an insert here, which I believe is for the headphones. It's an old school one. It's a big 1/4-inch jack. So, and there's an extension speaker here. We'll get to that later. Okay. So now we're gonna start with the overdrive channel on this thing. What this overdrive channel does is it's a little bit different. It actually has two different distortions. Okay. Both of them governed by a shared shape knob, which adds more gain basically to each of the distortions, whichever one it's currently paired with, via this button. Okay. Press this button once. Well, in one position it's set to gain 1, or yes, that's what it's called, gain 1, and the shape knob becomes paired with that. Press the button again, it's gain 2, and the shape button. Okay. The shape button just adds more overtones to the distortion to try and push it more into distortion, right? So, and I believe this actually has, no, there's no tubes. I was going to say there's some tubes in the preamp. I don't think so. Anyway, okay, over here in the EQ section for the overdrive section is just a low and a high control, as well as level. This is the volume for this channel, level. Okay. The reason there's only low and high here is because back in the 80s and 90s, the amps that were available, a lot of guys found that the best way to get a good metal tone, a nice dark, heavy tone, was to just take all the mids out and dial up the highs and the mid and the lows. Okay, and that way you would get a nice deep tone, a deep tone that didn't necessarily travel to the back of a room well, but it was a deep tone nonetheless. So that was. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a yawn here. So that was that was why there's no mid here, because metal tones from that time didn't have mids in them, hardly at all. Okay, so now over here is the channel select button. This switches between the two channels, this one and this one. Okay, now onto the clean channel. Clean channel's got a level control for volume, and then it's got 3 controls for the EQ here, low, mids, and highs, because they want it to be more clean, more nice. It wanted to be a more open sounding, okay? And then over here, this is the DSP, the digital sound processor. And this DSP has a level control and a mode knob, okay? They're both knobs. On the mode knob, you have settings for reverb, delay, flange, chorus. And then in between some of them, there's little spots for like chorus and reverb. Pardon me. I think that's the only one that's actually marked on there, but I think you can get a couple of the others in there too. At least I believe so. I thought I was able to do that because I got some flange sounds that sound like they had some chorus on them too. Anyway, that's a side story. Sorry. Anyway, so and you control all the effects on this knob, how much of it is mixed into your overall tone with the level control. So it's fairly versatile. This one, when I got it, I actually got it with a foot switch, which we control these on one side and switch it between the clean and channel and all that, and then you just had to come over here. Like you could do one preset on the foot pedal for one of the tones here. Anything else you would have to come over and really quick just dial it in. But it's just a quick turn. Anyway, I'm saying it has two 12-inch speakers. All right, these are not Celestians, but those are the ones you would like to have. But these are supposedly custom tuned. Everyone's got custom tuned speakers, but who's ever going to really know? So back to this here. It has an extension speaker. This thing is 120 watts. All right, so you can connect another speaker to this thing with a decent cable, bring it around to the other side of the stage, and have so other people on the other side of the stage can hear you just as loud as people on this side of the stage. Okay, so that's the reason that's there. And guys, that's basically this amp. If you want to know my overall opinion on this amp, I gotta say that this is a 3.5 out of 5. Okay, and if you're not like me, it might be a 3 out of 5 or a 2.5 out of 5, because it doesn't get good modern metal tones. So if you're a metal guy and you like Ghost, then you're probably not going to get the tone you want out of this. Okay? Pardon me, but if it's the older metal that's your thing, Sabbath, Megadeth, Metallica, stuff like that, yeah, you can get decent tones that resemble those tones. Not those tones, but tones that resemble those. All right? Well, this is a solid state. You're not going to get a tone like a tube amp. Okay, and those guys all use tube amps, so tube amps are money. So this is what it is to a certain extent. It's not going to get things perfect, but if you need loud and you need loud on a budget, this will do, definitely. And if you need something that's gonna fool enough people in real life situations for like small bars and things like that, yeah, this will probably be fine. But this is not a superstar. You know, maybe one day it probably was closer to being one back in the 90s. Yeah, probably. Because I remember them a little more fondly than I'm living this one. Okay? So maybe that's wisdom, maybe that's experience, maybe that's just age for the amp, maybe that's just me living in newer times. It is what it is. And that's about the way you rate this amp. 20 years later, it is what it is. It's not superstar, but it's not bad. And if you had one, I wouldn't feel bad. You know, I would tell you not to feel bad for having one. You know? So, with that said, guys, that is it for this one, I think. Please subscribe, notifications, hit the like button, all right? All that good stuff, please. And check out the channel. I've got some backing tracks over there. I've got about 700 backing tracks over there. For you guys that are learning how to play lead now, You can check out all that stuff all day long. There's metal, hard rock, pop, blues. There's some really, really good ones, and not most of them aren't all that hard. Most of them are easy. Those are usually the ones you can do the most over, right? So, and we're going to be doing more with this channel. We're going to be doing a lot of good stuff, okay? I got a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch. I've got several guitars that I want to share with you guys as projects. So I want to introduce those to you in video. I'm going to do more Welcome to the Cave product kind of reviews. And I'm going to be doing more of what you want as far as discussions on tips, tricks, secondary lessons, not lessons from your teacher, like your teacher does, but secondary stuff that might help you now so that you're not so lost later, okay? That's the kind of stuff I want to help you guys with. So anything you say in the comments that's going to help, please let me know. If even if it by helping you're telling me I'm a schmuck with a New York accent, okay? Whatever it is, please. It's all going to help the channel, and this channel just wants to help you, all right? Because when you make music, you make magic. So go learn to make music so you can make magic, all right? This is RJ's Cave. Take it easy. Until next time. Later.